My dear students of class 10, hope you all are fine. So today we are going to start our writing part. That is, we shall be starting from letter writing. And all these things, though you have already learned in your previous class, I mean in class 9, but still there should be, means there will be one quick recapitulation of what you have learned, and again so that again you can know the format and all these things. But before that, we shall also be completing whatever chapter was left. That means we had that day we had started the chapter of active passive voice that we shall be completing today, which we have started from your book, the Total English book. Okay, so these up to this part I explained, and today these few rules, that day also I have discussed some rules. You will find some rules are common here, and here will be few which I shall be explaining today. Now before that, I shall also tell you that in your live class, whatever means the rules which you also means you had some confusion with some rules, so those I'm going to give emphasis today. So first one is if there are two means if there are two objects, if this is as you know, always we can change when there will be, we can change a sentence from active to passive when there will be a transitive verb. The intransitive verbs voice change is not possible, so we always need a transitive verb, and as you know, a transitive verb can have a direct object and also can have an indirect object. So along with any of these, you can take one direct object or you can take any indirect object. So you need an object, and whether it's a direct one or whether it's an indirect one, it doesn't matter, you can change the voice with that. So here you can see I taught her cooking. So here you can see that in the very first sentence, in this sentence, if you see, this is what, this is indirect object, this is indirect object, and this one cooking, this is direct object. Because if we question with what, the answer we get, this is direct object and this one is indirect object. Okay, so here you can see the first one that has been changed into passive. So it has been answered as she was taught cooking by me. So she was taught cooking by me. So here you can see that this indirect object has been taken and the subject and object, they have changed their place, and she, which was the object here, it has become the subject in passive voice. Again, if you see in the second one, the answer, you can also write this answer also. So cooking, when we are taking this one, so here the direct object is coming, so here the direct object is becoming the subject of this sentence. Okay, so when you are having two objects, one is direct and another one is indirect, you can take any objects to change the voice from active to passive. Okay, this is first one rule. Then the second one, whom, when a prepositional verb is changed from active to passive voice, the preposition should not be dropped. You had much confusion with this in your live class. Means I think I gave one question I gave where you had a phrasal verb kind of brought out or something, and all of you were just omitting this out, this preposition. So you have to remember that when a group verb or you say a phrasal verb is given, you have to use it. You have to means when you are changing it into passive voice, that one will remain. The verb will, the third form of the verb or the past participle form of the verb will be used here, and along with that, whatever preposition is given, whatever preposition you can see here, at is given, so this one at will also be remaining here without getting changed. So we can't omit this, we have to use this. When we are given a phrasal verb, we will be using the third form of the verb or the past participle form of the verb along with whatever preposition is given, that can also not be omitted. We have to keep that unchanged. Okay, then to change the auxiliary verb from active to passive voice, add be along with the past participle of the verb. So this one also, the previous day's rule you have got on the previous day, the rules which I have given. So there you can see that I had told you that when there is a modal auxiliary, when there are the models, as you know, so models, if there is a model, so that one will remain unchanged, that model will be used, and also we have to bring be after this model, and we will be using your third form of the verb. So this way we shall be changing it, and this way you can see here Mona can do this sum. So here you can see this is the model auxiliary can. So this sum can, and we can see here the model auxiliary, it remains unchanged, and we are bringing be here. So this one is becoming this sum can be, and again you can see here third form of the verb or the past participle form of the verb. So this way we shall be changing it from active to passive. Okay. Next one, to change imperative sentences from active to passive, let be can be used. Or you have seen there, this one also was discussed in your previous day's class. So close the window, let the window be closed. Respect your elders should be respected. Love the animals, these animals should be loved. So here you can see the structure, let and then subject and then be and then your third form of the verb. So here it has not been given, here only let and be is given, but you remember here will be let, here will be let, and then will be plus let plus be, and then you will be using the third form of the verb or the past participle form of the verb. So you will be using third form of the verb or the past participle form of the verb. So this way we shall be changing it into passive voice. Okay. Then the fifth one, in intransitive verbs are used, the change of imperative sentences into passive voice is carried out in the following manner. Do it just now. You are ordered to do it just now. So here it's a bit confusing, as you have seen sometimes please comes. So that day I have said that when there will be not a particularized subject, or if there is any subject can be there, but if it is not getting changed, whatever the subject is, if the task is not getting changed, then we can bring here you are. So when we say please please give me a book, please give me your book, so that time we can write you requested to give me your book. So this way we can use this one, but here you will find very rare use of it, but it will be there, so you have to remember it. And then sometimes a transitive verb gives the passive sense, so this is what we call quasi passive voice. uh, it is called quasi-passive voice. It may be changed into a passive form. Just I shall be giving you more concrete definition of that. So some transitive verbs you can see here. You can see here some transitive verbs. Some transitive verbs are there. Some transitive verbs are active in form but passive in sense. They are also called quasi-passive voice. Also we call them middle voice. So you know the name, it can also be called quasi-passive voice, it can also be called middle voice. This book reads well, sounds to or affects a reader well when it is read. It tastes sweet, is sweet when it is tasted. It is sweet when it is tasted. This book is printing. This book is being printed. The cows are milking. They are being milked. Okay, so this way we can use this rule. Okay, next the continuous form, like the most continuous. This is a known one. Are being be used. So here you can see the laborers are cutting. So when you will be using this one, you will be writing that the grass is being cut by the laborers. Okay, so this way, so it's not a very difficult one, because it's very easy one. Are plus being, when we use it in passive voice, we use are plus being. Okay, when we use it in passive voice, we use are plus being. Okay, so this way you can change it, r plus being. Okay, next then r plus being and third form. In case of interrogative sentences, this is important, and this one I explained in your class 9 class also. So when you are given an interrogative sentences, that time you have to find out whether it is a yes no question or it is a WH question. Now how you can identify that whether it is a yes no question or a WH question? Yes no question, the answer of yes no question will always be given with yes or no. And when it is a WH question, it will obviously be started with a WH word. WH questions will always give you in answer, it will always give you some information, it will always give you some sort of description. These kind of things we will get in the answer of a WH question. Whereas when you are given a yes no question, yes no questions answer can be given with either yes or no. So what is then the difference between these two? So here you can see, if you are given this question, do you stitch the shirt? Is the shirt stitched by you? Is the shirt stitched by you? So this is a question. In this way you can answer this one. Is the shirt stitched by you? And here though it has not been given here, WH questions example, suppose what are you doing? So you can write what is being done by you. Okay, so this way we can answer yes no question and also WH question. Okay, do you stitch the shirt? Is the shirt stitched by you? So here you can see this one is in simple present, so we shall be using the passive voice of simple or passive form of simple present tense. So did they solve the puzzle? It's in simple past. Was the puzzle solved by them? So this way you can use. And when WH question like what are you doing, you can answer with what is being done. Okay, by you, what is being done by you. Now impersonal use, this we have seen, where the subject will not be that much compulsory, where the subject will not be that much important. So here we can see it is hoped that, for people it is hoped that. So here always only here you can see the for whom it is meant for, that means an assumption of this has been given. Okay, so it is hoped that, so people will hope that, it is hoped that something good will happen, people hope that something good will happen, something good will happen. It is said that, residents say that, or some people say that. So it is believed that, the patients believe that. So this way, here you can see these are the passive forms. So all these are the passive forms, these are the passive forms, and these will be written in active. When you are asked to write, you will be this one, we can write in active voice. So how you will write this one, passive voice? It is hoped that. So when you are, suppose something is given, it is hoped that, they will win the match. So people hope that they will win the match. It is said that they are good players. So people say that, or you can say some people say that they are good players. So here we can see, when we are using the passive voice, we are bringing kind of introductory it, we are bringing introductory it, or we are bringing it here. But here you can see, in these passive voices the doer is not important, and so anywhere we are not getting the mention of, means the doer's name is not mentioned here. Okay, so all these things you have to keep in mind while doing the change of voice from active to passive. Avoiding the vague words. After my lecture, I was asked to explain a point. So asked by someone. So who asked? Or asked by a student, or asked by a teacher. So that has not been given here. So these are the things that you have to remember. The passive voice is used when the subject is an indefinite pronoun like one. So here also you can see this form has to be signed. One has to sign the form. So here you can see again you can see in all these voices we can see that the doer is not important. So doer is of less importance here. Okay, so all these things you have to remember here. Loans arranged, shoes repaired. So here also you can see that the doer is not given any sort of importance. Okay, so all these things you have to remember. So these are the things. Okay, now we shall be doing some exercises from this chapter, which are given in your book, and few will be left for your worksheet part. I shall be giving those. Also, I shall be telling you the answers in your live class, but you before that you try to submit your response sheet. Okay, the first questions which are there. She invited me to her birthday party yesterday. So this is there in your page number 10. Page number 10 of your total English book. So you can always check from there. She invited me to her birthday party yesterday. So what will be the answer? I was invited. I was invited. I was invited to her birthday party yesterday. So here you don't need that I was invited by her to her birthday party. So you can omit her here if you want. So you can write I was invited to her birthday party yesterday. Okay, now another thing now which I must tell you, that when we had the previous live class, that time some of you were doing this yesterday, previous day, and some kind of system of education or something was there in your previous worksheet, and you were asking me whether we can write that education system or anything. So see, the structural changes we shall do. We shall be changing whatever changes are needed for changing it from active to passive or passive to active. But those synonyms or kind of the means word meaning or something, that we are not going to change, that will remain the same. Means previous day we can't write the other day or yesterday, so whatever is given in your question we shall be writing that. Okay, yesterday will remain yesterday. They propose to build a school in the village. So we can write it. It is proposed by them. It is proposed by them that they will build a school. It is proposed by them that they will build a school in the village. Okay, it is proposed by them. It is proposed by them that they will build a school in the village. Okay, or all desire success and some achieve it. So we can also do one thing, we can also change the second part also. If you want, you can change it. Okay, but here you can see the instruction. This is very much interesting when you are doing your ICSE grammar. So as I have said you that here you always need your the total knowledge that you are having been still now that you have accurate. It's not like that only by learning from this chapter or these particular few chapters it will not help you. So here when you are changing, you can change it both the parts of the sentence you can change, or you can change as only, because here the instructor is not like you have to change like you have to change the voice or anything. Here your instructions are very much interesting, that you have to begin with it is. So it is proposed by them that they will build a school in the village, or it is proposed by them that that a school will be built in the village by them. So that you can write, but it will not sound good. The last part if you change, no, it will not sound good. So we will write it in this way. It is proposed by them, sorry, or you can write it is proposed by them that they will build a school in the village. Or yes, this one you can write, it is proposed by them that they will build a school in the village. All desire success and some achieve it. So this is again very much interesting. Again, if you want, you can change it in the both the parts you can change, or you can change only the first part. So by some is the you have to end with this one. So you can write success is desired by all and achieved by some. Okay, success is desired by all, success is desired by all and achieved by some. Okay, you can write it in this way: success is desired by all and achieved by some. And is achieved by some. Success is desired by all and is achieved by some. Okay, so this is there in your book. And then question number 4, cut the vegetables just now. So here again, that rule which we have learned today, which we have learned, first one, this rule, this rule, this rule we shall be applying here. So you are ordered to cut the vegetables just now. Okay, you are ordered to cut the vegetables just now. Then the rules forbid the audience to enter the hall without a pass. The audience is forbidden, the audience is forbidden by the rules to enter the hall without a pass, or the audience is forbidden to enter the hall without a pass by the rules. Okay, better this one, the rules you bring in the beginning. The audience is forbidden, the audience is forbidden by the rules to enter the hall without a pass. Her friends accused her for being her of being rude. So you can write here, she is accused for being rude by her students, by her friends. She is accused for being rude by her friends. Mrs. Gupta pretended to be a wealthy man. It is pretended by Mrs. Gupta to be a wealthy man, to be a wealthy woman. It is pretended by Mrs. Gupta to be a wealthy woman. Okay, uh, then you can write, uh, Gupta pretended to be a wealthy woman. Okay, it will be greatly surprised Mr. Das if they elect him. It will greatly surprise Mr. Das if they elect him. So you can write it in this way. It will greatly surprise Mr. Das if he is elected, if he is elected. So you can write it in this way. It will greatly surprise Mr. Das if he the question is, if he if he if he gets elected. Okay, it will greatly surprise it will greatly, or you can write, Mr. Das will be greatly surprised, Mr. Das will be greatly surprised if he gets elected. Okay, if he gets elected, then everyone will blame me for my son's behavior. Okay, I will be blamed by everyone. I will be blamed by everyone for my son's behavior. It is the time to switch off the lights. It is the time to switch off the lights. So switched off. You have to end the sentence. So it is the time when lights should be switched off. It is the time when lights should be switched off. It is the time when lights should be switched off. You must listen to your mother's advice. Your mother's advice should be listened to. Your mother's advice should be listened to. Your mother's advice should be listened to. Okay, by you can write, don't look down upon the poor. The poor should not be looked down upon. Looked, in this way you will be using looked. Look down upon, you remember, look down upon means hating. Okay, so do not look down upon the poor. The poor should not be looked down upon, or you can write, let the poor not be looked down upon. So should not will be better here. You can go for should not. So you can write that the poor should not be looked down upon. Okay, we so often feel that these situations never arise. So what will be the answer here? You can write here, how many questions are given? 15 questions are given, no? Okay. Then you do one thing, these 3-4 questions I shall be giving in your worksheet part. You write these answers there. Okay, you write these answers, these 3 questions, 13, 14 and 15. These 3 questions I shall be giving you in your writing part. Also I shall be in your worksheet part, and also I shall be giving you one one letter to write. Okay, so now we have this letter. which rules you know, but still let me recapitulate, and let me give you a very quick recapitulation of whatever you had learned in your previous class. First one is that you have a friendly letter. When you are writing a friendly letter, that means you are writing to your friend, to your family members. So those who didn't learn in your previous class, those who didn't learn, you should learn it now. You should means these formats and all these things you should remember, and you should copy it down in your English one copy. Okay, so that one again, let me show. Okay, so first one, in a friendly letter you can write to your friend, you can write to your family members. So when you are writing a friendly letter, the first thing that you have to remember is your address. That is, this is your sender's address. We can say this is sender's address. So sender's address is very much important. This is the address of the sender. So sender's address is very much important, because here you have to remember that you are writing H, house number, H and N both are being capital. Okay, so you are using house number, where you are not using NO, you are writing number. Okay, you are writing number. So if you write NO, it will be wrong. You have to remember that the full word you have to use. You can't use any sort of short form, any sort of abbreviations. So you have to use your complete word. Okay, then you are writing the name of the place, and then name of the district, and then you are giving your pin code and full stop. So here you can see the punctuation pattern also. In this punctuation pattern, we are using comma, comma and full stop. Okay, then we are giving one line gap. So these are the line gaps. Now you remember, as I have said you in your previous class also, in your in class 9 also, that these punctuations you have to remember very minutely, because these are very important. These will play a very important role in your marks also. But these line gaps, these will make your writing look very nice and neat and clean. So that is why we shall be giving line gaps here. House number, then name of the place, then district's name, and then the pin code, then full stop, comma, comma, full stop. This is the punctuation pattern in sender's address. Then you are giving one line gap. So this is line gap, where this one gap is there or space is there. This is line gap. Then you are coming to the date part. Now date, as you know, it will be the exact date of writing the letter. Today's date, 3rd of May 2021. So we have written today's date only. So as you know, I have said you that it will be the day of your English 1 exam. So it will be today's date, or the exact date when you are writing the letter, 3rd May 2021. So when you are writing the date, you have to remember you are writing properly this third, or if it is fourth, then 4 and here th. If it is fifth, then 5 and here th. If it is something else like first, then 1 and st. If it is second, 2 and nt. So this way you have to form this. And then month's name, when you are writing month's name, will be completely, the full name should be written. Like you can't write February FEB or November NOV. So this you can't write. You have to write the complete one, because we don't use any sort of abbreviation or any sort of short form here in your letter writing. So that you have to remember that you are writing the date, and when you are writing the date, you have to write the full name of the month, then the year. Okay, now you see here we are not punctuating. Remember, the date part will not be punctuated. The date will remain unpunctuated, or will not be punctuated here. And then you are using again you are giving your line gap, and then you are coming to the salutation part. So this is salutation. What is salutation? When you say, no, my dear then you write your friend's name. When you write your family members, you write my dear mother, or you write my dear grandmother, or you write my dear grandfather. So this way you have to remember it, that you have to write my dear. Here you have to use this word my and then dear. So here if you start with only dear and D capital, this is wrong, because here in friendly letter we shall be using my dear, but in format of a formal letter, there you will find we are using only dear. Okay, so we are using my dear, and we are using the name of whom we are writing, the name of the person, or if it is a relation like mother or grandfather, so that time you will be writing mother, grandfather. But you have to remember that we will be using the complete word. We will not be using any short form here. In up to here we shall not be using any short form, and the whole letter we shall not be using any sort of short form, any sort of abbreviations, nothing will be used. And then again you give one line gap after salutation, you give one line gap again, and then your introductory paragraph or the first paragraph will be started. Now this one, when you are writing this one, you have to remember that the first line or in the introduction or the opening line of it should not be a question. That means you are not, you suppose you are writing to your friend, you can't write that how are you, or any sort of question, where are you, in the very first line or in the opening line. You can't do it. Okay, so that you have to remember, and the opening line should be a pointer to the topic. Means whatever topic is given to you in your question paper, the very first line will kind of establish a link between what you are writing and what is given in your question. And then the second paragraph when you are writing, so that is also. And here when you are writing these three paragraphs, when you are writing, you have to remember that these three paragraphs should contain three different aspects of the letter, three different aspects of the topic which is given. You can't randomly break the paragraph of means your choice. It's not like that. If you think that here I will stop the first para and then from the next line I shall be starting the second paragraph, it you can't do, because you have to maintain that the different aspect of the topic will be contained in each paragraph. Okay, then after this concluding paragraph you are again giving a line gap, and then you are starting with love, yours affectionately, and you are writing your friend's name. Okay, so with love, yours affectionately, and your friend's name. Now when you are writing with love, you can see here W is capital and L is small, yours affectionately, Y is capital and A is small. Okay, and then your name, this is your name. Okay, now you will be giving comma and full stop. The same punctuation pattern will be followed here, the same punctuation pattern as you have seen here in the sender's address. The same punctuation pattern, comma and full stop, will be followed here in the subscription part. We call it subscription. Now what are the quick rules of this kind of friendly letter? Exact date of writing the letter, which will be your English 1 exam date if you are writing it in your exam. So this is the date of your English 1 exam, and then numbers won't be used. So as you know, numbers won't be used either. In the case of date and time we can use this one only in the case of date and time. While you are writing date and time, that in that time you can use it. Short forms and abbreviations won't be used, like VSN, etc, it will not be used. So you have to remember this one. This is very important rule. To be punctuated properly, you have to punctuate it properly. You have to punctuate the whatever punctuation is needed. Here you can see comma full stop, here comma, here will be no punctuation. So all these things you have to maintain properly. Opening sentence can't be a question, this I have said. Line gap you shall be giving, whatever wherever the places I have said, just to it will look nice and neat and clean. Opening sentence will be a pointer to the topic. Each para will contain different aspects. Okay, now another thing have also you will have to remember, that is when you are writing this kind of story or you kind of letter when you are writing. So when kind of friendly letter you are writing. So what you will have to do, you have to start it from a different page. You have to start it from a separate page. Okay, you will be starting it from a new page. Suppose means you are writing first, you are writing your composition, and the composition is getting ended somewhere. So you have to plan it in that way. It's not like that you will be wasting the page, or then you will be coming, suppose first part only you have used. So you will plan it accordingly so that you can start it in a separate, in a fresh page. And also you have to remember that it's here your word limit is not given. So what you will do, you will have to you will have to measure the length of it, that it should be containing in a, it should be completed in an A4 size page, in one side of the A4 size page. Okay, so that's all for you, that's all for today. And I shall be giving you in the worksheet section few grammars and one letter to write. So you try to write the letter, and that uploading option also I'm giving. So if you can upload, you will upload. If you can't, then you will be writing in your English one copy. It's better to upload, you just because here time limit is not there, the whole day you shall be getting. So if you, once you try, if whether you can upload it or not. Okay, so that's all for today. Have a very nice day.